Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Soy Valdemar Rodriguez. I'm Valdemar Rodriguez, Manager of Community Partnerships at Alley Theater, and I have the beautiful.
Blanca Beltran Robinson, part of the Alley Theater El Zócalo Advisory Committee.
And also she is the executive producer for Barrio Kids Network.
That's right.
Ay, pues, ¿cómo estás, amiga?
Muy bien. Estoy muy excited para estar aquí con ustedes and just to talk about the mariachi and talk about us females who are just doing amazing things. We have been, but we're at a different time in this era where it's becoming more and more just out there. So
Exactly. So welcome once again to this edition of Cuentos y Charlas, which is silent voices, women mariachi bands in history. Now, before we get to all the lineup of our guests, I want to share with you that, we've been working very hard here at the Alley Theater to produce an amazing project. It's about fearless women, and it's about culture and tradition, which is the mariachi music. And so today our guests are going to talk to us about their perspective of what it is to be a woman and work in the music and entertainment industry.
yes, and I love the character's name in the American Mariachi, Lucha, and that's fight. So, we all have fight in us, and as a female, I can speak because I'm a female, but it's a constant fight just to be out there and be invited to the table. We just start arriving at the table. We start opening our own doors. So, it's just all these different elements that are going to come together with our guests and talking about the history, talking about their battles and their achievements, and just to get where we are today.
That's right. And so I want to take a brief moment to go ahead and thank all of my friends and my colleagues here at Alley Theater, especially the Education and Community Engagement Department. They have been so great in planning this Cuentos y Charlas for all of you today. Of course, all of our friends all over in the production part, in marketing, development, our leadership. Thank you so much for making El Zócalo happen. And, we're following our EDIA, which is equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility, which is what this show is all about. So, estamos muy emocionados de estar aquí, traerles este show que se llama Cuentos y Charlas para hablar sobre un tema muy bonito que viene siendo el empoderamiento de las mujeres, especialmente lo que ellos significan y lo que están luchando para poder estar aquí en la industria de la música y el entretenimiento. Pero we have a wonderful cast of characters today, and we're going to be talking first of all with a woman, a very talented woman,
yes,
who she's a director, she's a
actor,
producer, writer, documentarian, and also we're going to be talking about this other lady who another young woman who is actually working for the city of
Houston, and she's in the Cultural Affairs Office.
She is check this. She is the officer of the music officer for the city of Houston in the mayor's office.
Yes.
There you go. And then lastly, we're going to be talking to a young woman who actually does all of the above, and she actually exemplifies what we are actually producing on stage with American Mariachi. And we'll tell you a little bit more about American Mariachi. And actually, we'll let the director of American Mariachi tell us a little bit about that particular show. But without any further ado, I would love for you to help me welcome our very first guest, Miss KJ Sanchez. Pues, bienvenida, amiga.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Welcome back.
I'm so glad to be back.
We
Me
missed
encanta.
you.
I missed you too. I love the city of Houston and I love the Alley Theater, and I'm so glad to be back with this great musical.
Well, we love you.
Yes.
We love you. And
Mutual hearts.
it's like you never left. It's like you never left. KJ directed the very last project that you directed was
What a Christmas.
What a Christmas, which was what a big
Deal,
deal.
yes.
Sold out every night,
Oh my gosh, it
standing
was-
ovations.
I just want you to know, my kids are not big into musicals. They loved it.
Oh,
said
I'm so glad.
They were so impressed by the talent, just the way
Yeah.
everything kind of unfolded in front of them.
Well,
they loved it.
And Brianna Reza,
Yes.
who was the star of What a Christmas, is in American
Oh my God.
Mariachi. So we're going to
Beautiful.
see
Yes.
Homegirl making good again.
Good.
There
And
you
then
go.
the rest of the cast, the first show that I did here was Quijote Nuevo.
Fíjate nuevo, bravo.
Starring the great
Yes.
Emilio Delgado. For those of you who ever watched Sesame Street, he played Luis for
Yes.
40 some years. May his spirit rest in peace
Mm.
forever. We lost him.
Yeah.
But This was his last performance.
Wow.
He graced this stage, and his spirit is in this room. Many of the actors that Houston saw in Quixote Nuevo are here in American Mariachi as well.
That's
So,
wonderful.
Got the KJ Road Dogs coming back to Houston.
Love
making
it. I
another
love
show.
it.
So again, KJ, I want to let everybody know KJ is the director of a wonderful production that's American Mariachi. Tell us about American Mariachi. You're the one that I didn't want to tell the folks about what it's about, because I
Yeah.
wanted it to come from you, because you are directing, you've been in the rehearsals and you know the characters. So tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that play.
It's set in the 1970s, and Lucha Morales, her father, is a mariachi. She wants to learn to play mariachi, but he says, no, tradición. It's fathers teach sons. Girls don't play mariachi. But she wants to play, and her mom, Amalia, it has early onset, or what they call young onset Alzheimer's. And so she's not remembering who they are, and she's not remembering where she is. But the one thing that she does remember is the music. When they play music, she lights up. So Lucha and her friend Boli decide that what they want to do is they want to start a mariachi band and play music for their mom as a way of keeping their mom present. And so they run around and they find other friends to join their band. And all of these women are all told in one way or another, you can't do this, you can't do this. You're a mujer in the 1970s, respeto, all of that.
Know your place.
Know your place. And Lucha, the fighter, just keeps going and putting people together. And eventually, because of their courage and generosity of spirit, they start to play, and they meet musicians, and they start to play with musicians. And eventually the family wounds are healed, and they find that music brings the family together, and there is a way to pass on tradition. That doesn't mean you're denying the culture that we inherited and the beauty of what we inherited, but there's a new way to embrace it for people that might feel outside of the traditional expectations. That what we're doing is we're moving the culture forward with love and respect and celebration and joy. And one of the coolest parts of this is we have the top of the top mariachi musicians in Houston are on the stage and performing in our lobbies on every night.
Yes,
One of
yes.
our special guests is leading Las Maravillas.
Sí, sí.
Las Maravillas.
Mariposas.
Mariposas, the
Mariposas, sí.
butterflies.
Sí.
Of course, they're the mariposas.
Que son las maravillas, obviamente.
And they're
Yes,
maravillas
that's
también. So we have these professional older musicians, and then the actors, they all learned to play their instruments, and they learned to be mariachis during the course of the making of this show.
Wow.
So we have mariachis in there who are older, who are the elders of our community in Houston,
Right.
who are learning to be actors on stage. And then we have the
Oh.
actors learning to be musicians on stage, and then they all play together, and it is
I get chills.
unbelievably gorgeous. It's funny.
Yeah.
You cry when you want to cry. You laugh when you want to laugh. It's about familia, and it's just about Latinidad, and it's a great celebration of all we are lucky enough to inherit.
That's
La
right.
felicidad, I love that.
Esta obra, amigos, se trata de una joven, una mujercita que quiere comenzar su propio grupo de mariachi, y está en la era de los 70, y obviamente, pues, todos saben que las mujeres no sirven nada en la música, ¿verdad? Bueno, pues
Claro.
eso es lo que ellos han recibido, y eso es el que le da la herramienta para que luchen para poder salir adelante con este grupo. O sea, la protagonista es Lucha, ella va con su prima
Boli.
y van
Hortensia.
buscando, Hortensia, van de lugar a lugar buscando otras amigas que puedan, o sea, una que toque el guitarrón, que toque la guitarra, que toque pues los diferentes instrumentos para poder obviamente construir este maravilloso grupo de mariachi. Y obviamente en cada momento, cada vuelta que dan siempre hay un obstáculo, pero quiero que vengan a ver esa obra porque es una obra muy bonita que les va a dar inspiración, no nomás a las mujeres, pero a los padres, a los caballeros, para que puedan lucirse de sus hijas, de sus esposas, que tengan esa inquietud de tener un talento de cantar. So it's about culture and tradition, and obviously women empowerment. And
Y
what is
muy
your perspective?
divertido.
What is your perspective in terms of where the direction of women in entertainment and in music is at
Oh
this time?
wow. When I got started, I started as a professional actor, and many of you have actually heard my voice. I don't know if I've
Yes.
ever shared this with you, but if you've ever listened to Dora the Explorer or
Love
Go
it.
Diego Go, the cartoons, I play a lot of mommy characters on those shows.
Eso,
So
bravo.
I started whenever a mommy character needed help finding her babies, that was my voice, or and also Diego's mom.
So I met you years ago.
So many years ago, I know. But I started off as an actor, and then I realized I was a really bossy actor and meant to be a director. But when I started being a director, una directora, in the 90s, there were very few women directors, like 3 in the whole country.
Mhm.
And something that's interesting that I think has really changed in the last couple of decades that I'm so proud of is one of the first things that I actually faced was not necessarily men saying I couldn't be a director, but there were very few women who had that position of power who were helping other women through that gate. Because I don't know if it was like because we were competition or whatever, but it was really hard to find female mentors who said, "You're a woman, you want my job in a leadership position. Here's my hand. Let me pull you up. Let me pull you through the gate." But then something happened, like in the late 90s, as the decade changed. In my generation coming up, suddenly there were a lot of women directors when there were only three women directors in the whole country.
Wow.
Suddenly there were a lot of women directors. And instead of saying, "Hey, you who have all the power, give us the power," we turned to each other and we said, "You know what? Somos hermanas. We are sisters to each other. And if they're not going to help us, we're going to help each other." And so someone got me a job. I got them a job. We kept passing it. One person opened the gate. We called all of our girlfriends. All of us come in together. So it was actually women helping women that got us into those positions as directors. And then once we were in the room, there were some traditions we had to break. You know, there were people who thought like, "Oh, you're a woman as a director. Maybe you don't really know what you want." Because the way I direct, I think that there's inherently a feminist approach where I think that I'm very collaborative and I listen to everybody in the room and I say, "What do you think? What do you think? What do you want? Let's find something together." And I think they were expecting somebody to come in and say, "It's this way, it's my way, or the highway." And I was more collaborative. And so I encountered technical directors that made decisions for me because they decided that they knew better than I did. But over the years, that has been changing. And now, because we sisters helped each other, there are so many of us women in theater, and the gender parity is moving forward. And because of that, it's changed all of the employment practices of every theater. Here at the Alley, I don't feel like there's any difference between how I am listened to in a room and how Rob Melrose, the artistic director, is listened to in a room. I walk in this morning, we started rehearsal, our technical rehearsals, and there were over 50 people in the theater, all having a job working on the show. We've got 12 dressers, 12 people just changing wigs and costumes during the show. And we've got people moving the sets, 50 people. When I spoke, they were like, "Bam, yeah, what do you need? Here you go." I just feel like it's the era
familia for sure.
It's family, and it's the era for women, and it's a beautiful time to be here.
Yes.
Well, I'd like for you to tell us, for all the other KJs that are out there, all the other young women who are or at any age that want to go into this industry, what leave us with an advice that you would give to them.
Always stay too dumb to know better. I didn't know that I wasn't invited into a room. So I just walked in a room.
Yes.
I didn't know that I shouldn't be bossing people around. So I just bossed people around. I didn't know that there was a way to be a writer. Oh, you have to go to school and then you have to do this. I was just like, I'm going to write a play. And so I wrote a play.
Do it.
be too dumb to know better, and then you don't see the walls.
There you go. Well,
Love
KJ,
it. What a beautiful message, though.
sí, estamos bien emocionados. We are so excited. I've been waiting ever since I went to go see the show in I think it's in San Antonio.
Mhm.
I was like, I couldn't wait to come and see it here. So we are looking forward to seeing your fantastic work and all the cast and crew that you have been directing over the past month or so on opening night. So KJ, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm delighted to be here.
And good luck. I know you have to run because she's got a
got
full
work.
schedule of rehearsal in order to get that show up and going in a few weeks. So
And I was working so hard, I wasn't prepared to be very glamorous. And somebody lent me a very glamorous barrette that has
There you go.
sparkles so I can be
'Cause
here.
she's amazing and she shines everywhere she
un
goes.
fuerte aplauso para KJ Sánchez. Okay.
Thank you, KJ.
Thank you so much. Bueno, pues amigos, pues, you know, like
Exciting.
it's so funny to kind of hear her and the voice and because I used to watch Dora the Explorer, and then
I did
now
too,
it's
my
like so
kids.
I guess we kind of knew her way back
I'm
when.
telling you, we've been friends for a long time. No,
And-
but we're so excited about the show. It's going to start. The first show is on 9/22.
Yes, it's September the 22nd to October the 22nd. We have 32 performances that include previews, opening night, and obviously just different shows throughout the week, Monday through Sunday. Tuesday through Sunday. So Tuesday through Thursday is going to be 7:30 shows. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday we'll have an evening show at 8 o'clock, and then Saturdays and Sundays we have matinee at 2, and then obviously an evening show as well. We'll give you more dates and times and give you the website later on. But before we do that, vamos a introducir nuestra propia our next guest,
Yes.
and so I'll let you have the honors.
So we're going to be talking to Gracie, and Gracie Chavez. You have her card. And she is part of the city of Houston, and I've known her for several years, and she's just amazing. Her energy she carries everywhere she goes is just powerful. When I first met her, she's quiet, but she's observant, but she's powerful. And I love that about her because she's also advocating, fighting for musicians everywhere she goes. And this is why she is in the role that she's in. So no further
Yes.
ado.
Help me welcome. Pues bienvenida, Gracie.
Buenas, buenas.
So she actually just works just down the street from us here at the Alley Theater. And today, just so that you guys know, it's been raining, which is a glorious day.
Yes.
Los trenos, la lluvia, hooray. So and she usually kind of just walks because she's like, I enjoy power walking down there. And I said, oye, ¿te viniste en barco? ¿Te viniste caminando? So glad to have you, Gracie.
Thank you so much. Es un placer.
Yes, we're so excited to have you because you're Houstonian. And so you know the struggles that you've gone through. You went to U of H, go Cougs. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Our other UH sister.
That's right.
No, so I've seen you progress in the time that I've known you into where you are today. So, you know, seeing where you are, I'm not surprised because your powerful stature, it really goes out into the community. And I'm so excited to have you here because I want you to really kind of talk about some things like, you know, just from Bum Bum, Texas. Let's talk about a little bit about that, and then we'll kind of go into some other things.
Well, I think the great thing is that, you know, we're talking about women in music. You know, I obviously embody that, you know, and I mentioned recently that, you know, in the music industry, only 17% of women are involved in music. So that's a really small percentage. And so really here to kind of advocate and encourage more women. I was also part of this group called Girls Rock Camp. I was one of their workshop instructors. Like all of this work, you know, all of the work that I did with Bonbon really kind of brought me to this position now. And so maybe the small work that I was doing before didn't feel like outreach, but that's exactly what it was. And so now I'm going to harness that and kind of do it for the entire city.
Right.
Yeah.
So, lo que nos dice nuestra amiga, ella trabaja para el alcalde, la oficina del alcalde en lo que es la multicultural y obviamente ella es la gerente de la música y ella ha estado trabajando muchísimo para poder obviamente darle oportunidades a mujeres que quieren meterse, niñas, adultas que quieren meterse a este ramo de la música. Ella fue DJ DJ, ella ha trabajado en diferentes programas donde está en campamentos para poder inculcarle la importancia de la música y obviamente de los derechos para las mujeres. Gracie, tell us about you had mentioned that you have a site to be able to recruit, and not just musicians, but you are trying wholeheartedly to have the young women to register any kind of, tell us more about what you're looking for and how they can they can visit your site and how they can register.
Well, that's exactly right. A year ago is when I helped establish the Music Advisory Board. And along with that, we rolled out the Houston Music Directory. So essentially it acts just like the Yellow Pages for our music industry. And so not only is it a way for us to discover one another, and it's not just, front of house musicians, but it's also like back of house, people that are in the music business, so to speak. So it's a searchable database, but it's also an opportunity for us to market all the beautiful and wonderful musical assets that we have here in Houston. So imagine next Super Bowl, next World Cup.
Right.
I'd rather that,
local
showcase.
talent.
Absolutely. And not just talent. Again, it's, also the support businesses around the music and entertainment, industry. So it's a little ecosystem that, I think it's going on 2 years now, but never really had this kind of support for this underserved music community.
And music is everything.
Absolutely.
It really can elevate your spirits. If you're feeling down or you need a little pump in your workout, whatever.
And especially after, COVID,
Mhm.
I think collectively we went through quite a bit.
Right.
And so a lot of us turned to the arts for that healing,
So what have you seen the growth, like when you started being part of this program? Have you seen the level of growth? Like, what does that look like?
Oh, absolutely. I think that, at first it was met with a lot of curiosity, maybe even skepticism. Right. The unknown. Right. And as we're rounding out the year, I've been working with the music board and we hit the ground running with focus on Houston music preservation. So not only is it a way for us to educate ourselves and collaborate, but it also stirs a sense of pride in all of the music from, Lydia Mendoza to ZZ Top to Beyonce. Hello. You know what I mean? We can just turn to the Grammys earlier this year to see how much talent, I don't know what's in the water, but how much talent we really have here musically, women, and also in performing arts. So yeah.
Oh, great. Well, nuestra amiga nos comenta de que tienen un sitio en el website para poder registrarse si eres músico, porque cuántas veces nos dicen, oye, con eso es un mariachi, oye, con eso es un DJ, y pues la ciudad de Houston está haciendo un esfuerzo en la oficina de mi amiga para poder registrar a la gente que sea DJ, que sea mariachi, que sea algo en la industria de la música, y va a ser como un database donde uno puede ir y buscar y no tener que andar llamando al compadre, compadre, con eso un mariachi. Bueno, pues allí todo lo van a poder encontrar. Sí, les digo, the in-studio audience, if you have a question, please make sure you come to the microphone and stand there. That way, if you have a question to ask. But amiga, we're really excited. I want you to share what is that website. I know that we, as Alley Theater, in our community page, we're gonna go. We have your link, but what link can they visit at the City of Houston website?
It's not hard to forget. It's Houston Music Live. So Houston-music.live.
Houston Music Live.
And it really has become a hub, for our music industry. So, for those folks that are just supporters of the music industry or bands and musicians here in town, but it primarily also invites the entire community to use it as a hub, use it as a bulletin board. Lots of resources there, not only from the city, county, state, but also from just other partners here, our stakeholders in the industry.
So it looks like we have someone that has a question for us. So go ahead and speak up.
Yes. Hi, Gracie. As a parent of a young adult, a musician, what advice do you give us as parents to guide our children? What should they be following? Who should they be connecting with?
I think, well, it's twofold. I think, a lot of times it's wonderful when you do recognize that they have that interest. And it's our job as parents. I also have, two, young girls that I'm proud to call their mom, recognizing that and nurturing it. You know, the other part of it is finding organizations or even institutions, for example, like Houston, the High School for the Visual Performing Arts. I just had a conversation just earlier. Noticed that there was like some really wonderful talent that was, you know, brought in some of their artwork, really encouraging them to at least seek it out, try, because when so many times like young girls sort of get lost, you know, sometime after 7th, 8th grade, high school, too busy about, you know, working, looking, worried about like what they look like, the boys and this and that. So, you know, a great way to do that and have them focus is, you know, encouraging them to continue to seek out the arts and practice. Yeah.
Thank you. I definitely want to continue this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ok, pues nos dice nuestra amiga que obviamente que si tienes interés, si tienes un hijo o una hija en tu familia que quiere salir adelante en lo que es la industria de la música, pues que busque. A veces hay escuelas como HSPBA, que está aquí en Houston. Es una escuela donde se dedica a pues, darle fuerza a los estudiantes con educación específica para los que quieren meterse en teatro, los que quieren meterse en música, los que quieren meterse en artes plásticas, cualquier tipo de disciplina artística. Hay una escuela donde uno puede ir y normalmente a veces es base a audiciones, ¿verdad? So, si su hijo o su hija tienen ese talento, pues darle que echen ganas. Y ustedes padres, les digo que ustedes tienen obviamente la responsabilidad de poder apoyar a los hijos, porque muchos de nosotros como latinos, as latinos, sometimes it's hard. We want our child to go into be an attorney, to be a doctor, and so if they want to go into any kind of arts career, please support them, because you know it's God knows that we need all these wonderful artists to make the world a better place. It's Gracie, muchísimas gracias. We're so excited for the work that you do. I've seen you since you were playing in Bombón.
Yes.
and now,
Hey,
obviamente.
if you haven't seen her DJ, you're missing out, because she gets you on the dance floor and you don't get off. So, yeah, she's amazing.
Muchísimas gracias y te deseamos, we wish you very well in everything you do, and I know that you're going to be my date for opening night. I got like 6 days, oh, Dios mío, for opening night for American Mariachi. So muchísimas gracias, amiga.
Yes, encourage everybody to come out to Alley Theaters. Thank you so much for all the support as well.
Absolutely.
Pues amigos, pues ya escuchamos. Otro fuerte aplauso para Gracie Chávez. Pues, como sabemos, you know, it's you know, the city of Houston, the mayor's office, they've been very great to us. They obviously are you know, supporting the arts, supporting of course the musicians, because of that registry. You know, it's so important. And I should ask her if they allowed karaoke singers, because yo soy uno de esos cantantes que cantan en la regadera. I'm a shower singer.
No, you're not. You're a professional karaoke singer.
I love her. That's my big sister here.
No, he had a live performance at the Mariachi Festival. He and I co-emceed, and he performed a beautiful song for his mom. So,
Ay,
yes,
chula,
it
te
was
recuerdas.
beautiful.
Ay, qué padre.
Absolutely,
Pues.
yes.
Well, anyway, I'm going to register. If you have any inclination about music, just register, because you know what I hear is that they're having the Texas Music Conference very soon.
Yes.
And that's going to open up so many opportunities for all of us here locally to be able to perform and to tour all over Houston, all over Texas. So,
And if you want to get known, you got to sign up. So make sure you reach out.
yes, and I just want to go ahead, and this is kind of like a tie into the work that our friend is doing, Gracie. All the people that have registered to her site are actually people here locally, mariachi groups, folklorico groups that are going to be performing here at every show that we're doing for American Mariachi. They're going to be doing a pre-show performance starting on September the 22nd all the way to the end, or the closing, which is October 22nd. And so you go to the website, theatregoers.org, and you'll see all the information on there. You'll see all the groups that are performing, from schools to professional groups. And it's just going to, you know, it's, como se llama, KJ mentioned earlier, the director of American Mariachi. She mentioned about how emotion, how the music and the culture texted your heart, texted your emotion. That's what it is, you know.
And I got goosebumps just her talking about it. So I'm so excited. My mom and my brother are coming, the kids, and my husband, of course, and it's just going to be an amazing time checking it out. So make sure you get your tickets.
Yes.
And we do have a discount code. It's El Zócalo. So LEL Zócalo, ZOCALO all together.
All
So you can get
capital
discount.
letters.
Sí.
$15 off at any performance. So please make sure that you come and see it. Bring your tissue or roll of toilet paper, no importa, venga, porque van a
Hey, the way I
llorar
see
y
it,
van a sonreír y celebrar,
Sí.
pero van a llorar.
Pero mira, the way I see it is if you can spend $6 on a Starbucks coffee, you can spend a couple extra dollars to come watch an amazing show and support the arts.
Exactly. Bueno, pues, once again, American Mariachi runs from September 22nd all the way to October 22nd, and we'll give you some more information about specific dates that are going to have simultaneous translations. But we'll give you those dates momentarily. But let's go on to our next. I know I've been like so excited to talk to this
Very
young
excited.
girl and this young
Before
woman.
the
Actually,
show was even brought here, we were talking about this young lady.
So
Yes.
I'll let you have the honors to introduce her.
You introduced her because he was so excited when he first like, Chula, I have to tell you something. I was like, what happened? And then so he starts talking about this beautiful young lady, and I'm like, oh, I know her. So I'm like, what? You know her? So yeah.
So I went to San Antonio and I watched the show. It's called, of course, American Mariachi. They were producing it over there, and I went and I was like just mesmerized. The acting, the sets, the wardrobe, and then of course the music, and then of course to see all Latino cast was just so impressive. And then I came back. I said, guys, we have to produce the show. And then not only that, but that's not even the magic about this play. Is that this young woman and her friends actually started all women mariachi show. Mariachi band,
In
the
Houston,
very
right?
first all women mariachi band here in Houston. So
Aquí.
without any further ado, let's bring her on.
Sí.
Folks, help me welcome our beautiful friend, Andrea Daniela. Bienvenida, amiga.
Muchas gracias.
Estamos muy
Thank you.
excited.
Thank you for
Felicidad,
that
estoy excited.
introduction.
Well, tell us more about who Andrea Daniela is.
Well, I can tell you a little bit more about my story. I'm very grateful for nonprofit organizations. That's something that I'm very passionate about, and just we need to support the arts. So thank you for Gracie for mentioning that. But I got my start actually because of Mecca here in Houston, nonprofit organization, and without Mecca, I would not be the person that I am today. But they opened the door for me to become a dancer, and through dance, that led me to become a mariachi musician. And I found my passion for many performing arts, including theater, dance. I mean, look, tú quieras, like I just wanted to be on stage. I played the violin. I took guitar classes. I was like, I want to do tap. I want to do everything. I just want to be on stage because that's where it's my home, And my path has shifted because my story has been a lot with being an only female in the male-dominated world, and mariachi music is that industry. And I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had. I've been able to travel to different countries, India, to play mariachi. I went to China, we went to Vietnam, Norway, and when last year, I was part of this exact show, American Mariachi, with the San Antonio Public Theater. And when I came back to Houston after that show, it's a beautiful story, and I'm so grateful that it's here in Houston now, and excited to see how it turns out, here and their take on it. But when I came back to Houston from being part of that show, I was like still living it as Lucha, because Lucha for me felt like such a familiar character. It felt so much like my story. And when I came back to Houston, and I'm going back to playing with other male musicians, I just called my girlfriends up and I said, you know what, like it's time for us to actually make a female group in Houston. So I really just like fully stepped into being that character, and now it's here, and we actually just started the group this year. So we're super grateful for all the opportunities that we've had. We've already performed at the Rockets, for the Texans. Like we've been very well received, and it was time. But this is the first female mariachi here in Houston, but there are so many other amazing female mariachi groups outside of Houston that have paved the way for women like me to feel accepted, to feel like we can do this. So I look for those women as inspiration.
you also, aside from, first of all, felicidades for
Yes.
everything you just mentioned, everything. And I've been
Thank
following
you.
ever since she came back. And it was like, when I started calling my friends, hey, we're going to need to book a lot of mariachis for our Yo Soy Houston Mariachi campaign. Everybody, Amor a Mexico, Amor a Mexico, Amor a Mexico. They kept hitting her
You're like,
name.
I know,
and
we got
I was like, we got them already. But what I would say,
We're
oh yeah, we
performing on
got them, but
opening
I
night,
didn't
by
know
the way.
that. I didn't know that this is exactly what American Mariachi is about. It's about her life story. It's about her and her friends getting together. I
Right.
mean, it's like how with
There's
art
a lot of parallels for
or
sure.
parallels, yeah,
Yes.
and I completely understand you trying to live, you living as lucha because tienes que siempre estar, con esa fuerza y esa pasión y
Las
and be
ganas.
aggressive y con ganas sí, para poder salir adelante.
That fight.
Yes.
¿Qué consejo le das? What advice would you give someone, another Andrea Daniela that wants to do what you're doing?
I would say the main thing is to believe in yourself. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, the universe, other people will not believe in you and your vision. And no te dejas por vencida, like, I think there was the moments in my journey where I can say that I was like doubting, what am I doing? Like, why am I playing at a cantina at 4 a.m? Like, and that's the reality sometimes with mariachi music, is sometimes you play in these amazing stages and you're playing for like thousands of people at the NRG stadium. And then there's times when you're literally playing at a not so nice place and you're like, why am I using my talent in this way? But it's a lifestyle, and it's for the passion of the music and the tradition. And there was times where I was like, am I going to continue this path? Is this really what I want to keep doing, or do I want to just get into another industry? But I kept seeing it through and talking to God and asking him for guidance. And he has always showed me the right way. And I feel very, very thankful that I'm able to empower not just myself, but the other women that are in my group, like to give them a platform to be able to be in a mariachi group, because a lot of them, wouldn't feel comfortable, let's say, gigging in an all male group, because they're not as, atrevida like the way that I am, or they don't have that personality, or they're younger. You know what I mean? We have girls in the group that are students at HPVA. We have girls in the group that are at U of H, and they've actually never like gigged. And I think there's two different worlds in the mariachi world that we kind of think of, and it's like the actual gigging world, performing every weekend, and then there's also like the school, mariachi. So a lot of these girls come from like the school world, where they've learned it in school, but they haven't actually gone out and like gigged in the real world. So I'm super happy that like now I've been pushing them, and like I can see the growth in them just in the few months that we've been gigging, and they've been stepping out, and they're like, thank you, Andrea. Like I feel like so empowered. I feel like I'm improving at my instrument. I'm improving in my confidence. Like,
They're
so
owning their talent.
they're owning their
And you're
talent.
helping them, and
Exactly.
it's about elevating you're a young lady, but you're also elevating the younger ones to come with you.
Right. The next
You're
generation
grabbing
that
them
comes
and coming,
after
it's like,
me.
look, and you're doing it together.
Right.
Como dijo KJ, like sisterhood.
Sisterhood. Exactly.
Pues, amiga, tell all of our friends here, for first the folks that are here in the studio, but also our friends out there. Tell her when you're performing, because her group is going to be performing here at the Alley as a pre-show to American Mariachi. Tell us what date that you will be performing.
We're actually going to be performing on September 27th, which is the official opening night of the show. So please come out. Please visit us, Mariachi Amor a Mexico.
So so you have that invitation, like I mentioned. El Zócalo is a promo code, all capital letters, ELZOCOL. Zócalo. There you go. Just pronounce Zócalo. Just write it in there. All capital letters, 50% off for any tickets of that presentation coming. You're going to be able to see Amor a Mexico. Son 8 chicas, 6 or 8 chicas.
We're actually 7, but we are adding more and more. We want to keep growing the group.
Van a
And
crecer.
in Mexico, the groups are 12, so we hope to get to that point. So if you are a mariachi female and you want to come join us, please do.
So, I mean, you're basically going to get 2 shows for what? You're going to get their show
Yes.
before the show of American Mariachi.
And they're also playing at the after party, so stick around, and she might let you go through the ropes. You're like, I know the mariachi group, and then you go into the after party.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a beautiful story though, and I actually met Jose Cruz Gonzalez, the playwright. It's a great story, and I just want to mention, because this is kind of a full circle moment, the music for American Mariachi that was created and written was written by Cynthia Rifer Flores, who is also a pioneer in women in mariachi music. And she was the one who founded the mariachi department at UCLA. So Jose Cruz Gonzalez was going to college at UCLA, connected with Cynthia, and was like, I want to write this story. Can you write the music for me? So she's the one who wrote the music for this show. And I love Cynthia, and this show is amazing. So it tells the story of so many women that are in mariachi.
We're so excited. We're so excited to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing your story and just, really sharing the dream, because it can happen for everybody, but they just have to work for it. So
There you go.
Exactly.
So join us open night, and we're going to get 2 shows for the price of 1.
that's right.
Muchísimas gracias, amiga.
Muchas gracias a
Okay.
ustedes.
Ay, pues amigos, que otro fuerte aplauso para nuestra amiga Andrea Daniela. Pues bueno, amigos, tenemos un último guest, invitada aquí para Cuentos y Charlas. Y como saben, aquí en el teatro hacemos muchísimo, no nomás hacemos lo que es actuación, lo que hacemos de la música, sino también hacemos artes plásticas, hacemos pintura, artes visuales. Y tenemos aquí a una jovencita que ella usó lo que viene siendo la obra de American Mariachi para inspirar en hacer unas pinturas y para hacer unas manualidades que son alebrijes. Y entonces ahorita vamos a conocerla y vamos a poder ver el trabajo que ella ha hecho. Por favor, un fuerte aplauso y ayúdenme a recibir a nuestra jovencita Jennifer Chaparro. Ok, bienvenida, amiga.
Gracias.
A ver, platícanos, ¿quién es Jennifer?
Yo soy una mexicana, nací aquí, tengo 13 años y pues a mí me encanta el arte.
Bueno, pues ahora, platícanos un poquito de este proyecto. Menciónate el director, menciona la organización con la que estás trabajando para que la gente se dé cuenta, so that the audience can know where it is that you're getting the education, how you're getting the training, and obviously who's allowing you the opportunity and a platform to express yourself through this art.
Pues yo soy de la parte de Alianza Latina Internacional Houston. Mi instructor de arte es Alejandro Gómez. Él nos enseñó otras técnicas de arte y pues sí,
¿Qué edad tienes?
13 años.
13 años, bien jovencita, y obviamente sí, la organización se llama Alianza Latina Internacional y es la directora ejecutiva de ese grupo es Martina Grifaldo, y obviamente el instructor de arte es el señor Alejandro Gómez, que están aquí en nuestros estudios, y obviamente we're very excited and very, of course, proud to see the wonderful work that you've done. A young woman that's so young and able to do this wonderful work. Tell me, we're going to be looking at some of the paintings. What is the favorite painting that you did?
I think my favorite painting would be the one that has the eagle in it, and it has a background, and it's actually the country of Mexico. I don't know if you can tell, but it really took me a long time to do the background and to do all the details in it. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Where do you find your inspiration?
Well, I just love my culture, Mexican culture, and that's my inspiration.
Tan simple así. ¿Qué es la inspiración para que haga esos dibujos? Pues es la cultura mexicana, la cultura que tan simple así, tan simple así. Y como estaba mencionando que la pintura favorita de ella es la águila, y pueden ver atrás, ahorita que nos enfoquemos en lo que viene siendo la pintura, ven atrás que viene siendo la bandera y el paisaje de México. Amiga, y aparte de las pinturas, hiciste una manualidad que se llama alebrije, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ok, platíquenos un poquito del alebrije.
Pues el alebrije es de la Ciudad de México y lo hice con papel, con silicón, con hilo y con cosas que encontré en la casa para hacerlo. Y con ayuda de mis padres también lo pude hacerlo.
Oh,
Pero no todo el mundo puede hacer eso. Yo puedo ver todos los materiales. ¿Qué voy a hacer con esto? So, tienes que tener el visión. de cómo
Sí.
La creatividad en la
Sí.
mente, sí, sí. ¿Y qué tanto? Yo sé que cuando Alianza Latina Internacional, perdón, Alianza Latina Internacional vino a platicar con nosotros sobre este proyecto, apenas estaban comenzando y eso no hace mucho tiempo. It was about 2 weeks ago that you guys came,
Yeah.
and you guys had not even picked up a paintbrush, much less a piece of a thread for the mane. And all of a sudden, I see that whenever the arts were delivered. Earlier in the week, and I was so impressed. How can that have happened? How can that have happened? Of course, I think we owe it to the instructor, el señor Alejandro, and obviously the directora ejecutiva, Martina.
Martina Grifaldo.
Martina Grifaldo, platícanos un poquito ya sé que querías darles un mensaje, mandarle un mensaje a tu instructor y a Martina.
Pues quiero decirle gracias por dejarnos esta oportunidad, también a usted por abrirnos las puertas y a nuestro instructor, a Martina Grifaldo, a Alianza Latina Internacional y a todos los niños que participaron aquí, las mamás que nos ayudaron y muchas gracias.
Pues gracias a ti y igualmente gracias a las mamás y gracias a los instructores. Obviamente siempre tenemos que tener una plataforma, unas puertas abiertas para poder satisfacer esta inquietud que nuestros hijos tienen. A veces uno los ve que están cortando papel y pegadura y que están jugando con la
What are you
comida.
doing? What are you making a
Están
mess?
haciendo, doing something with their food, los coditos y todo. It looks like they're making a mess, but they're actually being creative. So they need to feel that passion.
Yeah, no, I love that, she gave a shout out to the instructor, the institution, but also her parents, because without the parents' support, it's so important. And that's the biggest message. I know that I think even KJ and, Andrea, like we are all, it's on the same message. And Gracie, just be supportive of what your kids are passionate about.
Yeah. I haven't been blessed to be a dad, but I know you are a wonderful mother for your 2 young boys. Tell us how, what Jennifer's saying, how does that reflect on how your kids were growing up? Because I know they're very creative and very artistic.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest message is that I say to them is just don't let anybody define who you are. Only you do that, and follow what you're passionate about. Whatever that looks like, it looks different for everybody, right?
Yes.
Whether it be art, whether it be medicine, whether it be sports, it looks different for everybody. But the biggest deterrent that a parent could do is stop those dreams. Like, you don't need to be doing that. Like, no, it's not. You don't need to be. It's like, what do you want to do? Okay, well, let's find a way to how to do it. How can we support you? But it's their dream, but they have to be the ones that do the work. So what are they going to do to pursue that? So as parents, as a village, as a Tío Valdemar, how do we help those dreams? So that's what it's about.
Well, and that's how you cultivate our young and next generation of artists. So, Mija, very quickly, what advice would you give someone like your age, un jovencito, una jovencita that wants to do exactly what you do? What advice would you give to them?
The advice I would give y'all is to follow y'all's dreams. And if y'all have something in your house, y'all could build something with it, paint, anything like that.
And
Awesome.
don't be scared, right?
Yeah, don't be scared.
Okay. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us, and
Thank
we
you for
wish you
y'all.
good luck. We want to let everybody know. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for your parents for coming out, and you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Otro fuerte aplauso para nuestra amiga Jennifer. So we actually have a lot of the paintings here on exhibit here as part of the Cuentos y Charlas. And we have a surprise because they are going to be in exhibit in our hospitality green room for the entire month of National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Nice.
So please be here. Come and check out whenever you come in. Go inside and have a drink, a little appetizer, and then have the opportunity to be blown away by these amazing creative paintings and obviously los I was having a problem pronouncing that. Alihebris.
It's a tongue twister.
Alihebris. There you go. Y obviamente, we have some wonderful people from the El Zócalo Advisory Committee here. Ya me dijeron, Valdemar. ¿Qué pasó? Ese que está allá lo están vendiendo. Le dije, cálmate. But yes, you know what? These are the next generation of our artists,
Yes.
of artists. And yes, those paintings will be, the paintings as well as the elegibles, they will be on sale or you can commission something from them. But they, of course, are going to have to live through the exhibit here. So just get with us and we'll be sure that we can tell you whenever they go up on sale because they are raising money for their organization. And these kids, the project, and I failed to mention the project is Art Talks. El Arte Habla. So if you want your child or you as a parent want to be part of this amazing journey and movement to teaching your kids and working with your kids to do something exciting with art and manualidades, please visit Alianza Latina Internacional, or you can visit our community page at the theatregoers.org, and we'll be able to give you more information about the partners that as we have with Alianza Latina Internacional.
Art Talks.
That's
Love
right,
it. So
yes.
simplistic, but so profound.
That's right. So, oh my goodness. So I don't know what the time is, but I think we're getting close to the end. But I wanted to share with you right now that we want to play the trailers for American Mariachi, because this is, we want you to see what it's all about. We want you to get your tickets and come and join us. We have 3 simultaneous translation dates. And I want to go ahead and give these dates for you. Esas son las fechas donde vamos a tener transmisiones en español para la gente que no habla inglés, va a poder escuchar con unos audífonos, escuchar lo que viene siendo la actuación, y obviamente viendo la actuación en vivo enfrente de ustedes. Y tenemos septiembre 29 a las 8, la presentación de octubre 7, que es un sábado, también a las 8, y luego octubre 14, que es a las 2, es un matiné. Esas 3 funciones van a ser en español, bueno, van a ser en inglés, pero van a tener las transmisiones en español, y queremos que vengan porque este es su teatro y estas presentaciones queremos que ustedes las entiendan y las disfruten. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead. We're going to roll the 2 trailers back to back. The first one is in English and then in Spanish.
Come to Alley Theater and experience American Mariachi infused with vibrant, infectious live mariachi music. A heartwarming play about how the power of music and love can make the impossible come true. Bring your family to simultaneous Spanish translation performances on September 29th, October 7th, and October 14th. Learn more at alleytheater.org. Déjate llevar con la música melodiosa de mariachi en vivo en American Mariachi. Alley Theater te da la bienvenida para que conozcas esta brillante obra de teatro acerca de cómo el poder de la música y el amor hacen hasta lo imposible realidad. Te esperamos con tu familia para nuestras presentaciones y traducciones simultáneas en español el 29 de septiembre y el 7 y 14 de octubre. Para más información, visita alleytheater.org.
So, don't forget to visit theatregoers.org. I wanted to mention that we are going to have, we are having the Yo Soy Houston Mariachi campaign going on. Every performance, most all of the performances will have a pre-show presentation. We're going to have a folklorico dancers. We're going to have mariachi singers, duets, soloists. It's going to be something exciting. You're going to be able to walk the halls here of the lobby at the Alley Theater and be able to be blown away and just immerse in all that culture and tradition. So we hope that you do come and join us. Tickets are already on sale. If you are a business or if you're a nonprofit organization and you want to do something amazing for your clients or your employees, please reach out to us. Please reach out to us. We'd be more than glad to help you. We have like group ticket sales. We also will create this amazing experience for you and your guest, because what we want to do is we want to make sure that you know that this is your theater. This is a theater that belongs to you. That we want to make it accessible. We want to make sure that it's affordable. And so for those reasons, we want to make sure that we provide anything and everything that you need to make sure that you, take advantage of coming to our theater here and experiencing these wonderful plays.
Yes, and make sure you bring your mom, your tia, la comadre, all your buddies, all your girlfriends and your friends. I mean, it's just going to be an amazing show. I'm so excited. My mom is so excited.
Sí.
I told her we bought tickets for her. She's like, estoy lista. So,
Pues ya estamos. Ya nos tenemos que despedir, but I just want to say thank you to our amazing Yo Soy Houston Mariachi sponsor, which is Gonzalez Law Group. And we want to say thank you to your organization with the Battery Kids Network,
Kids
CNEP,
Network, that's right.
CNEP for Life, all of the wonderful partners, Freedom Festival, the Houston Mariachi Festival. They're just all the different chambers that have come on board. Thank you so much for partnering with us. Thank you so much for spreading the word. Remember to go to the Alley Theater website, alleytheater.org, and you'll get all the information, all the shows. And just remember to do you remember what the promo code is?
El Zócalo.
El Zócalo. All capital letters, no spaces. So
And remember, like, if you want to continue having these kind of productions here at the Alley Theater, we have to show up and we have to represent. So, and
That's
it just
right.
doesn't have to be Latinos. This music, everybody loves our music. Okay.
well, and thank you, Blanca, for always being such a supporter of El Zócalo and LA Theater. And I'm always so excited to be able to come and see with you.
Of course, you're my brother.
Bueno, pues que pasen una bonita resto de su día. Muchísimas
Adiós.
gracias.